The mentioned DLC has long been something that I personally thought of to be a bit of a meme, primarily because you-know-who wouldn't shut up about it. Fast forward several years later, and the mentioned DLC is on the horizon. Teasers for them will seemingly be dropping through the remainder of the year, with missions, changes happening to the map, and more. So the question is, what exactly can we expect from the DLC? As per usual, the best way to answer that question is by looking back at what Rockstar has done previously in the game. The first time this has ever happened in the game, and at the time was just mind-blowing, was the Casino DLC. As everyone knows, the Casino in single player looks like this, stuck in the 2013 timeline, whereas the Casino in GTA Online looks like this. For 6 years, the casino was left unchanged and nothing was done to it, but with the release of the casino heist, the entire building changed and even the car park itself. The teasing for this stuff started on June 6, 2019, more than a month before the release of the casino DLC. The changes that were happening in front of the casino was small, but every week there was a little bit more added, more and more. As far as I recall, there were 3 stages to them, and you could clearly tell that something was about to change about the casino. And it wasn't just the front door, the entire building changed. And boy, it's definitely one of the best looking buildings in GTA Online. Fast forward to December that year, and the casino heist was also teased heavily with in-game text messages and social media teasers hinting towards us robbing the vault in a new update. This, however, didn't even come close to how much teasing Rockstar did prior to the Cayo Perico heist. Basically every week from mid-November onwards until the release of the DLC, we had some form of a new teaser. We had someone washed up on the shore with a suitcase next to them. We had renovations happening in the casino for the music club thingy underneath the casino itself. Teasers showing off the new islands, and just really, it was probably the largest amount of hype I've ever seen for a GTA Online DLC, especially at that point for so many years. It also probably helped that everyone was stuck inside and wanted something to do. But regardless, it really was a great way of getting everyone excited for GTA Online's next heist, and perhaps also the last one. And it seems that Rockstar is going to do the exact same thing with the mentioned DLC. We're getting 3 new Mr. Faber missions throughout the next couple of months that all kind of lead up towards that new mentioned DLC in potentially likely December, as per usual. Playing one of these missions will also allow you to get an exclusive discount as well to the mention, which will be coming out again in the December DLC if the teasers are correct. Then there's also the map changes, which will also possibly hint towards another map change. It will be very interesting to see how large this DLC is going to be. Everything is pointing towards the DLC being that DLC that I'm personally not really expecting, but everyone is hoping for. You know, that big final bang GTA Online thing? That one. My biggest question when it comes to the mentioned DLC though is gameplay. If you look back at the Casino DLC where you had all these huge teasers happening and the building change and the map changes and really everything, the gameplay that we got for it was effectively 6 missions and you could spin the wheel and play some casino games, which is fine, but at its core, the Casino DLC really was a social experience rather than actual new interesting gameplay. Mind you, the Casino DLC story was definitely a lot of fun and is definitely till this day very much worth the play. Maybe not so much a bad beat because that mission, it's difficult, but it's fun. And that's kind of my main concern with this mentioned DLC. It's the gameplay aspect of it. And then people obviously might say, but what if they bring back Michael? Sure, the Michael DLC that everyone also has been screaming about for God knows how long could very much be a possibility. But there's a few issues with that too. Narratively speaking, what would Michael be doing in a mansion? You couldn't possibly do a heist DLC with him as he's retired, and then kind of like making him unretired for a second time would kind of feel like a bit of a cop-out in my opinion. Then there's also the possibility of him needing help around the movie studio like he had with Solomon Richards. But at that point, it's like, okay, we've kind of already done it in single player as well. Not that Rockstar is entirely shy of repeating things from single player at this point, but, you know, it's a Michael DLC. So in my personal opinion, if you're going to do a Michael DLC, it would have to be at least as good as the Franklin DLC, which was the agency, or the contract rather. Because that DLC was effectively the single player DLC that we always asked for. So a Michael DLC would have to at the very least be on the same scale as that Franklin appearance in online. And it is something that is quite concerning to me, as this is 2025 GTA Online. And I really wouldn't want a Michael DLC to just be another 2025 GTA Online DLC. Because if that were to happen, everyone is going to go ballistic. And it would also just really put an extremely sour note to the end of a game that's been around at that point for over 12 years. So personally, I had a lot of questions about how exactly Rockstar can make a DLC like this exciting. And I don't mean to say that because I want to be Mr. Pessimistic or whatever. It's just something that I'm personally rather skeptical about, and obviously I'm hoping that they're going to be proving me wrong. But if you look at the realistic situation of GTA Online in this current day and age, it's hard not to be so skeptical. We literally have a Coquette D5 that's been bugged since December. And even though we've had the latest patch, it is still bulletproof. And it's not the first time that this happened either, by the way. There's been several different examples of vehicles that have gone completely bulletproof through seemingly the exact same bug. I'm saying this as I know what I'm talking about. Obviously I don't, but it's kind of weird how it's been happening multiple times over and over again. On paper, everything looks like this is the DLC that we've been hoping for several years, right? The mentioned DLC, the potential for maybe even having a Michael appearance and all that stuff, and the big bang that we're all hoping for. But while I am obviously very skeptical, I would obviously love to be wrong, right? A DLC that is sounding the way that it is on paper has got me the most excited about a winter DLC that I've been for a very long time. But I'm still going to be sitting here with reserved expectations until we hear more about the DLC through whatever possible way. And I'm hoping that after the launch of the DLC, I'm sitting here and going to be eating all of my words. But until that time, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll see you all later.